Cleaning up after a nasty spill down the front straightaway. The drivers all in good shape. Stephen Wallace, we talked with him. We saw Justin Allgaier out of his car, and Jeff Green has been treated and released from the infield medical center. Now, I want to show you a couple things, how a championship chance, we've heard Carl Edwards' team talk about trying to get back into this championship, how little things can almost end their championship hopes. These were the pit stops at lap 118. Most of the other teams get fuel-only or just right-side tires. Carl Edwards' team chooses to get 4 tires. That puts him all the way back to 14th on the restart. That puts him from in front of the wreck to back in the pack. And then, Rusty, when this all happens off turn 4, keep an eye on that 60 car.
Oh, man, I tell you, everything is happening right in front of Carl Edwards right now, right where he doesn't want to be. Let's take a look and see if he gets through this thing. Take a look at this right to the bottom. Everybody's crashing in front. You know what? He just got lucky there.
He did get lucky. But, you know, guys, you have to make these decisions. They're part of your strategy. These things are going to happen throughout a race. You just got to roll the dice. Sometimes you end up lucky and get yourself up front, get a chance to win. Sometimes you don't.
Edwards is running in 10th right now while Clint Boyer's in 6th. I mentioned Jeff Green a minute ago. Mike's with him now.
And Alan, he's just left the care center. He's fine, but you took a wild ride. What happened?
I got run over. Just got turned around. And first of all, our night was pretty bad from the get-go. We got had a flat tire and got spun through the infield, and we were going to make a dime of it, but 66 just run over me. You know, Steven, I love him to death, but he's got to slow down to go faster, and he just runs over. Just tears his car up way too much, so probably pretty much killed our car. And Curtis doesn't need that. Just try to come out here and make some laps and run some, basically, but just got run over. So it was just a bad night for us.
And Jeff Green, a former series champion, very disappointed, but he's okay. Let's go over and grab Justin Allgaier. Rough way to make your debut. You told us in the pre-race your objective was just to kind of keep the fenders on it. You were doing a pretty good job tonight, but didn't look like you had anywhere to go. What was your take on what happened?
To be honest with you, you know, wrong place, wrong time. We thought we had it cleared, and Spotter was doing a good job getting me cleared of it. And unfortunately, we got caught up in somebody else's mess. And, you know, it's a shame for all these guys in the Penske truck rental Dodge. They did a great job all night. We were finally getting the car where we wanted it to be, and it's just a shame. We'll have to get them the next time and come back, and I think we'll be a lot more competitive next time around.
You took a pretty heavy lick. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. You know, the safer barriers, and Penske's done a great job of building a safe race car, so I'm all right. Just had to get out. It was on fire there. It's unfortunate, but like I said, the Penske truck rental Dodge was great. These guys did a great job, and we're finally getting where we wanted to be, and unfortunately, we got caught up in somebody else's mess.
Well, Doc, a disappointing end to what looked to be a very promising debut for Justin Allgaier.
I'm sure we will hear more from this young man for many, many years to come. Justin Allgaier getting a hug from family there. He will head off to Toledo to run the ARCA race on Sunday. Let's check in down in the leaders pits with Jamie.
Yes, and that would be Clint Boyer that we're talking about. Dan Deeringhoff is crew chief. You guys sitting 6th now. The last 2 times you pitted, you didn't take tires. It's been about 47 laps. How are you feeling about that call right now?
Well, I mean, we're all right. We got right at 20 green laps on our tires, and the BB&T Chevrolet's kind of thrown us a little kink tonight, and we're just trying to get it better and work on it big in the beginning of the race here, and then we had to get some track position back, and we'll be all right. We got a long ways to go yet.
He slipped back to 18th there for a while. This is the first time in the entire race he's been ahead of the 60. How good is this car?
I think it's a pretty good car right now. He says it's quite a bit better, and probably 1 or 2 adjustments away yet, but that's a lot better than the 100 it seemed like we were away from at the beginning.
He sounds like a happy driver now. Shannon?
Yeah, Jamie, really a team effort up here in the 18 pit box. We got J.D. Gibbs, Steve Addington, Joel Weidman, who's calling the race for Kyle Busch up here tonight. So you have the driver. Do you guys have the car to win this race tonight?
Yeah, we definitely have the car. We just got to make sure that we don't mess up here in the pits. Make sure we get the right calls.
What do you think is going to be who do you think is going to be your biggest challenge on this racetrack on your way to victory lane?
There's a lot of cars that have been tough. A lot of guys have taken 2 tires here. The one car seems to be really strong right now. So it's anybody's game right now.
All right, and you guys, we've talked about all week and all year about how this is a team effort, and obviously you can see that up here tonight.
Hoping to be able to pull off the sweep here at Lowe's Motor Speedway. Again, the cars involved in the latest incident on lap 125, the 31 of Jeff Green, Stephen Wallace involved, the 12 car Justin Allgaier, the 99 of David Rudeman getting into the wall and also getting some contact on the front of his Toyota. Those were the 4 primary cars.
Yeah, that crew chief there was being kind of politically correct when he was talking about they're the only ones that can stop them from winning that race tonight, or this race tonight. It looks like, and a lot of it can happen. And I know Alan Bestwick's sitting down there saying it's not over till it's over, and that's exactly right. And Mike Bliss has been very fast. If he can get back up there to Kyle Busch's bumper, this could get quite interesting.
Pits will be open this time by. We'll see what kind of takers we get. They've been having to come down pit road so they could get the track cleaned up now, but they are open for pit stops. And
we have one taker, Brian Vickers, yeah. A little earlier than they were talking about, but it's an opportunity I think they have to take now.
Mike?
And Brian Vickers on pit road, real happy with the race car, looking for a 4-tire change in fuel. Only an air pressure adjustment. That's all, though, due to the 32 car. Amazing, considering this was the backup car and they had very little time to get it outfitted for this race. He's away. A very good stop, Dave.
A couple of Roush Fenway teammates on pit road. David Reagan will get that car topped off with fuel. No other changes to hit. And also the 17 car of Jamie McMurray is on pit road. The left front fender got pushed in the jam up on that last little scuffle out there. I also want to check something else on the car repairs wise, but it looks like they're going to be able to get that left front just about as tidy as it was before. I think that car very aerodynamic as Jamie heads back out. 10 car of Blaney on pit road as well.
Andy, now Brian Vickers' situation there, they could make it from lap 140. That could make it 60 laps. They're going to have to run 68 laps. Is this a short pitting and hoping for some yellow flags, maybe some laps?
You know, they may be thinking that this race could be short because it is so late. And if they go ahead and get fuel now, maybe they can make it to whenever this race might happen to end. But they had stayed out there and kind of rolled the dice. I believe I would have rode that out just a little bit farther.
Yeah, the only thing that we're going to have to get close to possibly, you know, you get to these type situations, then we get a long green flag run, and they would have to make a pit stop under green when others might not have. So
we
they
had a threat of that
down there for a while.
We hadn't had a threat of a long green flag run yet.
Still working on Joey Logano's car on the right side of his car where the young man was trying to make a pass and bounced it off the wall out of turn 4 after leading early here. Said they had a lot of great memories of running Legends cars here on the little oval in the front straightaway, but the first time he had been in a NASCAR Nationwide car here on the big mile-and-a-half track. Making his 15th start of the year, 10 top 10 finishes, 2 poles and a win. Not a bad start when you're 18 years old.
A good way to get things started for your career in NASCAR racing.
Marcus Ambrose back in. They have signaled 1 to go, so they will come in and top him off in fuel.
Yeah, they might think that if they get enough of these cautions, and we've had so many, they might be able to stretch these fuel tanks to the end. You know, this might be the last time you see the 59 car on pit road. Same thing with Brian Vickers. Saw the 6 car.
Yeah, I think in your pit win you gave like 52 to 60 laps at the beginning of the race.
Yeah,
so maybe they were on that high end to start with, and they could stretch that just a little bit or have the cautions. And we have had those. Yeah.
Well, the question is, can anyone handle the 18 cars? Burton gotten something. Everyone thinks the 1 car, maybe the second strongest car on the racetrack. And the 88 was coming. Remember, back in May, we keep saying that Brad Keselowski was one of the quickest cars, if not the quickest car on the track in the final 35 or 40 laps.
Done a great job tonight to drive that car up to the top 5 from back in the pack. And the car was not good early. He was very loose and not able to really move up. But now he's made his way to the top 5. Great job by that whole team.
It'll be 66 to go as Kyle Busch brings him down to the green flag.
Our restarts have been a lot better here since that incident that we had a little bit earlier about, what, 3 cautions back? You see Jeff Burton right on Kyle Busch here right now as they go through turns 1 and 2. What's this 18 getaway? Just gets such a run off the corner. Stretches out another couple of car lengths there.
Been an eventful night for Jamie McMurray. Sat on the pole, and he's been involved in I don't know how many altercations on the racetrack and missed a few wrecks.
Lost a lap, thought he had a tire going down. It wasn't the case.
Still digging on the lead lap.
Yeah, in 15th spot. You'd think after all of that it'd be a lot further back or in the garage, but still digging.
There's the 60 car digging on the bottom of the racetrack, trying to get me inside of Casey Kane. That would be for the 7th position. '64, David Strimmy, by the way, back on the racetrack after that damage. He's being shown some 31 laps down in 35th position.
That yellow car on the high side, that is Brian Vickers, who just came in there just in front of Jamie McMurray, trying to make his way back. He came in when he was running 3rd there.
More on the 32, Mike.
Well, guys, as we were talking about the pit strategy of the 32, I climbed up on top of the pit box and spoke with Trent Owen, asked him how close he was on fuel. He said they're real close, planning to go the distance, but it would certainly help if they got about 4, maybe 5 laps of caution to just help them get to the finish.
I don't believe most of these guys, or a lot of these guys, will have to make one more stop. And of course, the question is, if Ryan stays out and we stay green, he could be in good shape if he can make it. Pretty good battle here for 3rd position. Bliss trying to hold off the challenge of Keselowski. They've been running like this for about the last 7 or 8 laps, and Brad will move in, and then Bliss will move away.
Keselowski's putting a lot of pressure on him. He wants that 3rd spot. So he takes a little wider arc and staying a little bit higher in the corner. He's going to make a nice run off of this corner. Watch as he gains on the one car down the front straightaway here. Mike Bliss having a very good run, but these two guys are 3rd and 4th in the points, are doing an excellent job here tonight. Shannon, how about Mike Bliss?
Well, I spoke with Mike Bliss today, and I asked him if he thinks he's getting close to getting to victory lane. He told me every week that he comes to the racetrack, he feels like he can win a race. This team has certainly come a long way this season. He told me that if I win one race this season, I feel like I can certainly win another race. And guys, a little sidebar, as they're chasing down Kyle Busch, Mike Bliss's win here at Lowe's Motor Speedway was in a Joe Gibbs racing car. Ironically, Steve Addington, Kyle Busch's crew chief, was Mike Bliss's crew chief in that race.
That is Mike's only career victory in the NASCAR Nationwide Series. Came in October of 2004. And now Keselowski makes the pass and takes a spot away.
2 cars are pretty even. Both cars have Hendrick motors under the hood. The James Finch team also uses Hendrick Motorsports power.
It looked like Bliss might have been a little bit loose there in trying to keep the 88 behind him, so he just decided to give that up. I think the one car is really good on the longer runs. Here we see Jamie McMurray going around the 6 of David Reagan and the 38 all in one corner. He's getting it on right now.
Well, he is flying all of a sudden, Dave.
And I don't know if it's because it sounds like more of a hot rod or not. He's actually got a separation in part of the body work on the side where the exhaust pipes exit. And it's really, really loud right now for Jamie McMurray. He had to turn up his radio so he could hear his crew. They've got a patch ready in case they can put that on before the end of this race. But it's kind of something to either bother you or motivate you.
That's a run. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't make any difference.
58 laps to go. He can put up with it for that long if it'll keep running.
Yeah, he got hit in the right door there, right where in the right side on that last deal as he was down through the grass trying to avoid all of that accident. But he did catch a little piece of another car in the door, so that's made things kind of loud in there for him. But like I say, he's moving towards the front, so I'm sure he's enjoying that.
Last lap by, Kyle Busch was exactly 1/1000th of a second faster than Jeff Burton in second spot. So running about even, but there's about 8 or 9 car lengths between them.
It has started to balance out between these 2 cars. Kyle Busch jumped out there to a pretty big lead, running real fast lap times, faster than he qualified. But then you see now that the 29 car is able to start making ground back towards him.
15th, 16th, and 17th here on the screen. The 11 car, Scott Lagasse Jr. doing a pretty good job, making only his 3rd start for this team. Jason Leffler trying to get back around him. They had Lagasse had made the pass.
And Scott Lagasse qualified 13th, and he's sitting there running in the top 15. He's got a solid race going.
Marcus Ambrose behind them and had come back in and topped off his tank.
Lagasse get a little bit loose there and move up the track, and that's going to open the door for Marcus Ambrose. Cuts him off a little bit there as they get to the tri-oval.
They had a little contact between these two. So right here. Oh, it did some damage.
Wow.
Man. Crinkled the fender on Scott Legacy's right front. Got to be careful that doesn't cut a tire down.
Left were able to make the pass. Legacy holding on to the position. Moving in on 50 laps to go here. 60 car continuing his march back toward the front. He will take the 6